Hey guys, so this is like part 2. I swear to God, I don't know why it's so hard to get in here. This is like part 2 to the video about Haitian voodoo, sending the dead, sending the Anvwa. This is part 2. So first, so for anyone who was trying to, or for anyone who could ever say that I must have done something to my children's father's family for them to do that to me, no, I didn't. And by the way, these are lemon pepper Better Goods Walmart wings. So this is my first time trying them. They're actually really good. I'm drinking Pinot Grigio. But yeah, I can say no. I respect people's cultures, truly. So when I married into a Haitian family, I wanted to find out all I could find out about the Haitian culture. I was extremely respectful to the mother. You know, I found out that the Haitian culture is centered around boys, like many island cultures. I'm from the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas to be exact. But the culture is centered around the boys, so I knew that they were not following the Haitian way. And there were all sorts of lies made up about why, you know, lying to gods and deities and the Haitian Anvwas and the Lows and the Gads, why they were doing this. One of the lies is that they're upset because I'm not Haitian. Or upset because I'm not Haitian, and so I shouldn't have married James. But that's BS, because my children's father has cousins, many cousins, that are in interracial relationships. His family, him, his mother, and his 2 sisters are the only family that have problems. They were all taken up for his psychotic, sociopathic sister who wanted to be me, who was obsessed with trying to be me. She's deranged. They were not following the Haitian way. All of his mother's brothers, they have sons, and their sisters don't have any problems with them marrying women. One of them is actually married to a white woman, and he is a physician's assistant. And they didn't send a mo after her. They're not attacking her with voodoo. I'm the only one that they're attacking. They're not attacking any of his cousins, girlfriends, or wives. None of them. His mother and his aunt did not attack his uncle's wives either. So there's no right rhyme or reason. There's no excuse. Nothing. I was always extremely sweet. I did everything for his mom. I took her shopping. I would take her to work and grocery shopping. I would take her to work when her own kids didn't want to. My parents had taken her to work before and given her rides. Dropped her off and picked her up too. By the way, hi, it's The.Intelligent.Ingenue. Yeah, I'm just saying that there was absolutely no excuse. There's no right rhyme or reason for anyone to ever do that. Their whole gig was trying to gain control of my whole mind and my body. They're insane. They thought they were going to be able to control my thoughts and get me to do whatever they wanted me to do. They're deranged. That was the whole thing, domination and control over me. For what reason? I don't know. Because they're deranged. It's just disgusting. The fact that anyone could be so grotesque. They were obsessed with trying to make me infertile. It's none of their business whether I have a baby or not and with whom. And they continued on even after I broke up with my kid's dad. Because they're disgusting. It's none of their business. My body is not their business. No one has any right to do that to someone. No one has any right to try to sit around and do voodoo and witchcraft to try to make someone infertile. I don't give a shit. I don't know who the fuck you think you are to do that shit, but that's disgusting to come after someone's fertility. But I'm the Empress, Tarot, and they wanted to steal what makes me the Empress. The ability for me to give life and bring life into this world. Now it's been 6 years. They've done everything they could to try to stop my period. That's how disgusting they are. They try to stop my period, stop my ovulation. Like, they're so stupid. Tried to make me feel gas bubbles in my bladder that I have to pee, and my body's supposed to think that this is ovulation. They're very ignorant, very, very extremely ignorant. And the thing is that I've won. Obviously, they're not more powerful than me. They never will be, because I'm innocent and I didn't do anything. What I did do is meet the wrong man. They're deranged, obsessed, psychotic, and sociopathic. And karma is going to bring them exactly and precisely what they deserve. They saw me as kind, so they thought I was weak. But it's truly the opposite. I am in complete control of myself. I would never try to mentally harm someone or try to cause someone pain and anguish. You're a bully if you do that shit. You're a bully. You're pathetic. And you're a loser. And furthermore, the fact that you can't admit it, you're hiding. You're hiding. It's like, well, the real Slim Shady, please stand up. Like I said, if you got the balls to do it, then you have the balls to admit that you're doing it. Stand on it. Stand the fuck up on it. Die on that motherfucking hill. And if you can't, then you're weak. That's that. You're weak. You're weak. It's just like internet warriors, people who hide behind the internet and say what they want, but they're just hiding behind a mask. They have fake profile pictures because they don't want people to know who they truly are. I'll just say, I like to stand on business. I don't do witchcraft. I have a spiritual team that's extremely protective over me. So I don't have to do any of that. Like I said, I do believe in God. God is part of my spirit team, to be completely honest. And so are the angels. Until, like I said, that's how I survived. I triumphed because I'm more powerful than that bullshit. You're not going to do something on someone who's innocent and think that you're going to live your life in peace. And you're not going to try to destroy someone else's life and think you're going to live yours in peace. Someone who doesn't deserve it. I didn't deserve any of it. And of course, like I said, yes, I was happy when my children's father's mom passed away. I didn't tell him any of this, of course. I would never rub salt into the wound. Never. That's not who I am. I never told him that I'm so sorry for your loss, because I wasn't sorry. And I'm not going to lie. I refuse. I have to be my authentic self. I believe in presenting the most authentic version of yourself to others in the most respectful way possible. So, no, I'm not going to lie. I don't have a reason to lie. I didn't do anything wrong to his mother. She betrayed me. She betrayed me, and she betrayed my children. She betrayed our trust. His whole family betrayed me and my children and our trust. Never would I ever have thought that I would go over to my children's father's mother's house with my kids, and that she would be feeding us the ashes of dead people from the cemetery and her blood and putting urine in her drinks. Like, I would have never imagined something like that. Something so evil and wicked and nefarious. I would have never imagined that my children's father's mother was capable of that. But all they cared about is protecting the sociopath, his one sister that wanted to be me. That's all they cared about. She was so obsessed with trying to make me infertile because she's infertile. I was fertile myrtle, and she couldn't. She only had one child. And when we were 17, like I said, I'm very intuitive. And so when we were 17, I told her she was trying to get pregnant by this guy in the Marines. And I was like, maybe you should get your fertility checked out, because we're like 17. You know, it's normal to have fertility struggles when you're in your 30s, like late 30s, mid-late 30s. But to have them at 17 years old, that's not really normal. So this is really good. It's like really kind of sweet. It's more sweet than peppery. I either grow like Parmesan wings, the better goods ones. But yeah, so anyways, my point is that I literally did everything I could to be a good in-law, and they still send an Anvwa after me. So that's why I say be careful. Be extremely careful. Use your discernment, because you never know. It doesn't matter how nice and kind you are. Some people will hate your light. The fact that you have light, they hate it because their life is full of darkness. And that's my children's father's family. They're obsessed with trying to get me back into their world with my energy. They need my energy. They need my energy to thrive. They need my energy to block their bad karma. So they wish I would come back into their world. I don't think so. It's not happening. Never will I return, ever. I don't want anything to do with any of them. I walked away from that with my head held high. I walked away from that with my head held high, knowing that I didn't do anything, and knowing that I'm the righteous one, and karma will get them in the fucking ass, because it will. And it already has started. You know, my kid's father is going to jail. He didn't just beat me up because I would accuse his family of doing voodoo. He would beat me up for other reasons as well, such as jealousy. He would be extremely jealous. You know, there was one time when, you know, we were downtown, Orlando, and he was so jealous. He told me we weren't going to eat dinner, and I don't deserve to eat dinner. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to go by myself. I'll call an Uber to go back home. You can take the car home. I'll get an Uber back home. Because I wanted to have dinner on Valentine's Day. I don't care if I was by myself. I didn't care. I just wanted to have a nice steak dinner on Valentine's Day. And so was trying to go to one of my favorite steak restaurants. I forget the name of it. It's downtown Orlando. It's really nice. It's not Ruth Chris. No, because Ruth Chris on I drive. Oh my God. Does it start with a K? I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, as I said, so that was the thing. And then he just grabbed me and legit like dragged me down the sidewalk. Like my ass was like dragging on the floor. I had like bruises all over my butt. He's like screaming in my face. And this car stopped and said, "Are you okay?" They were asking me if I was okay. And, you know, he turned around and looked at them and he was like, "She's fine. She's just crazy." You know, and they were waiting for my response. But I was just so beat up. Like I had just been like dragged. I'm wearing this cute little bodycon dress. I was just dragged down the sidewalk. I was so humiliated. You know, all over me wearing something short and tight. Crest Steakhouse in downtown Orlando, that's the name. All because I wore something short and tight. He didn't want me to go to dinner and he dragged me down the sidewalk. Because I wanted to eat by myself. He wasn't expecting for me to say, "Fine, I'll eat by myself." He was expecting me to have such low self-esteem that I just had to eat with him. On Valentine's Day, I had to eat with a man because that's where all my value and my worth is. In a man. Anyways, yeah, the problem with my children's father's family is that his sisters and his mother, they're all narcissists, and they raised him and conditioned him, and they raised him to be codependent upon them, and so that was the problem. You know, that was the problem. They're all narcissists. And so his father never taught him how to be a real man, apparently. Because look how he turned out. I shoot this last wing. Look how he turned out. It's very, very sad. I don't feel sorry for him. Because you can get therapy. I just told him he should get therapy. But he didn't want to get therapy. Just like his mother said. He said it was a waste of time and money. Until he refused to get it. When you turn 18, all of your past traumas and wounds and whatnot, it is on you. How you decide to fix them, how you decide to heal them, that's on you. You're an adult now. You can't blame everything on your parents forever. You just can't, you know. Like I said, I was raped. I was statutorily raped when I was 16. I lost my virginity to my boyfriend, statutory rape. And then I was raped again when I was 18. Definitely against my will. No, I never pressed charges because when they do rape kids, it's so disgusting. The way that they do them, I feel like if I were to do that, I'd be being violated, you know, all over again. You know, what if the doctor was a man? And they make you put your feet in forceps and they put things in there. And you know, after you're raped, why would you want someone to put something else in there, you know? It's just so uncomfortable. But of course I have to get semen samples and whatnot. And so I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And with statutory rape, my parents found out about it because I wrote about it in my diary. They found out. They also found out that my boyfriend, who was my fiance, that I was supposed to marry at the time, they found out what had been going on and they wanted to call the police. And I made such a poor decision because I was trying to protect my boyfriend. I was 16. And my boyfriend meant the world to me. And so I lied. I lied and said that I made it all up. But no, it's just to say, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of sexual trauma, and the sexual trauma still affects me in my sex life today, which is sad. But, you know, what my children's father's family did to me was just really disgusting, and it was spiritual warfare, as I said. To send an Anvwa after someone, that's spiritual warfare, declaring war on them, because it is torture and torment. They think, it's like, who do you think you are to think that you have the power over my mind and my body? You think you should have power to control my fertility? Who do you think that you are? You're that sick and twisted in the head? You're that fucked in the head? I don't want to understand it, and I will never understand it, because I'm a good person and I would never do that to someone else. I would never even think of doing that to someone else, even if it was one of the options I had. Like I said, be careful. Just be careful about the company you keep. They might smile in your face. Be careful about the food you eat and the things that you drink when you go to someone's house. They might smile in your face. I had to text my daughter. She's asking me if she can skip acro tonight, and no, she cannot skip acro tonight because I paid for it, and I'm a single mom, and every penny counts. So you need to start on. Okay, anyways, be careful, because, again, because this is the culture. Sometimes people from Haiti, a lot of people from Haiti will smile in your face and do voodoo on you. And even as they're doing voodoo on you, they will still continue to smile in your face and act like they're not doing anything. That's how my children's father's family, after doing this for 6 years, told my children's father, "Tell Sarah I said hi." I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You said hi? You're telling me your sister said hi after they sent me an Anvwa after me to try to torture and torment me endlessly, day in and day out, and try to make me infertile and try to kill me. And you're trying to tell me that they said hi to me after everything they've done? They want to say hi and pretend that they're not doing anything, that they want to pretend they're not evil and wicked? Who does that benefit? It doesn't benefit me. It only benefits them. So I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. I just brushed it off like fucking dirt on my shoulder, because that's all they are. Get that fucking dirt off your shoulder. That's all they are. That's all they will ever be, beneath me, underneath my feet. They will never dominate and control me. It wasn't in the cards for them. So, woo! To them. That's all I have to say about that. So, that's that story. They're evil, they're wicked, and their karma is going to serve them exactly and precisely what they deserve. And I can't wait. And my children's father, for participating in it, for encouraging it, for not standing up for me, for not being a real husband, all of his uncles who didn't step in and say, this is not the Haitian way. This is not what we do in Haiti. This is not how we treat the men in the family. All of those who didn't step in. Three fingers, read between the lines. That's all I got to say. So it is what it is. But yeah. Anyways, I just find it to be disturbing So yeah, no, my children's father has zero custody of my children. There's a restraining order because he's violent, and my children are scared to be around him. And my children are upset that he chose his sisters over them. They know. They had to find out the hard way, just like I did, that your father's never going to choose you. I found out the hard way. My husband's never going to choose me. So it is what it is. We've moved on. I just wanted to share my story of what I've been through and how it was tough as shit. But I realized that they were attaching, this Mo was attaching to the nerves in the back of my neck. And I realized that I could most certainly control things and ease what I was feeling that way. So I survived. I made it through. And I'm empowered and I'm stronger. And they are weak and they are cowards. Only a coward would do something like this. Only a coward with no self-esteem, no self-worth, and no self-love would do something like this. But I discovered my extremely spiritual side. I discovered my gifts. I discovered that I'm intuitive and I'm a clairvoyant. I discovered that I'm a healer. I discovered that I have dreams that can predict the future as well, just like my mom did. I discovered a lot of things. So yeah. But anyways, I'm not with my children's father, and definitely they should have stopped when I broke up with my children's father. If they just wanted him back so badly, but they didn't. So the real truth came out that this was never about my children's father and their jealousy of me being with him. This was always about their jealousy and envy of me and their desire to be me and wanting to be me so bad. And since they can't have it, they're going to send an Anvwa after me and try to take away everything that I could have, try to take away my fertility so I can't have a baby with anyone else. They're sick and deranged. I don't know who the fuck they think they are. They're not God. They're confused. It's deplorable and it's downright sad. There's a special place in hell for them. And like I said, Papa Legba, they tried to unalive me. They promised Papa Legba that they would give him to me. Give me to him. And Papa Legba said, bring her to me alive, willingly. Bring her to me alive and willingly. I don't fuck with them. It's not happening. So Papa Legba wants his payment, and he knows that they can't pay up. Of course, Papa Legba was never going to unalive me. He wouldn't do that. He would not do that. I'm just saying that that is the results of their little coven. They're so powerful. But yeah. So anyways, let's take another bite of this wing. It's so good. Yeah, but what you will see from this channel, me and my daughters go out, me and my boyfriend go out. Weekend business, risky business. When me and my daughters go out to the movies, when we go out to eat, when I go grocery shopping, you know, like we go to Universal a lot, so I'll film there and film the restaurants there and where we eat for dinner. And me and my boyfriend, where he lives when I'm at his place and where he takes me, we like to go hiking. We like to go on nature trails. You know, he likes to take me out to breakfast and dinner, and there's a pool there, so I like to film there too. So yeah, it's just my weekend life, pretty much. Just my weekend life as a single mom and how I make it through life as a single mom.